The Atlanta Falcons season came to a disappointing end with their playoff loss to the Giants. Now the question is, what's next? We know they need a defensive coordinator. Brian Van Gorder took off. He's at Auburn now. Were you surprised by that at all? And really, is that even a bad thing for the Falcons?
Well, I wasn't surprised that Brian Van Gorder was the one to move on. You could sense there were changes that were going to be made after such a disappointing result Sunday against the Giants. But I was a little surprised by how quickly it happened. Moving forward now for Atlanta, this is a chance for them to have a fresh start on defense. They need it. That was a disappointing unit this season. They didn't get enough of a consistent pass rush, and they gave up too many big pass plays. I think the pass defense is really where they need to focus on. Run defense was pretty solid. It reminds me of their situation right now a little bit where the Saints were a couple years ago before they hired Greg Williams. He was a guy who really invigorated that unit, and they were coming off 2 disappointing seasons, made a run to the Super Bowl. I think the Falcons need to feel that sense of desperation when they have this search for a new defensive coordinator.
It's really been the case throughout the Mike Smith eras. They just haven't had that defensive identity, I think, that they wanted to go along with that high-powered offense. Who are some candidates that maybe could fill that Greg Williams role?
The names that you're already hearing being mentioned are Jack Del Rio and Steve Spagnuolo. Del Rio is probably closer ideologically with Mike Smith. Mike Smith worked under him at Jacksonville as the defensive coordinator. There's a natural fit there. But on the other side, Steve Spagnuolo really intrigues me. I mean, look back at what the Rams did against the Saints earlier this year, a team the Falcons are going to need to beat if they want to finally get over the hump. They sacked Drew Brees 6 times. I mean, that was a career high. He'd never had that happen to him before. They really got after him, and that has to jump out to you if you're Thomas Dimitroff and Mike Smith right now. As a guy who maybe can come in and spark that pass rush. They have to have it.
They probably have a lot of competition for Spagnuolo. We've already heard him maybe back with the Giants or with the Eagles. A lot of people going to be coming after him. But it seems like this Falcons team has kind of reached, the peak a little bit in the last few years. 3 playoff appearances in 4 years, but never winning a playoff game. Can they become an elite Super Bowl contender?
It's a legitimate concern whether they'll ever get over that hump. Now, if you see, we saw this year, my expectation was for this team to make a run and possibly get into the Super Bowl. They were my pick before the season. Very disappointing for them. How do they respond? You have to make some really good decisions on defense, and they have a lot of them to make with the free agents and defensive coordinator job open. But I think this is a team that's going to be in the hunt again next year because of what they have on offense. I think they'll be in the race, and as long as Matt Ryan's under center, they're going to have a chance to win most weeks. Yeah,
some tweaks to that defense, if they can improve, you figure they have the talent to really contend for a Super Bowl. That's a look at the Falcons and their offseason plans. For the best coverage of the league, check us out at ProFootballWeekly.com.
It's never too early to start thinking about the NFL Draft, and Pro Football Weekly's new draft database has you covered. Check out updated player rankings for over 750 prospects and our exclusive PFW Stock Watch. Just go to the Draft tab at ProFootballWeekly.com.